and they ended up having to punt after a sack. So the Cowboys will get the ball back here with about 9.5 left. Jets kick a field goal to make it a 14-6 game. Cardinals have the ball with 11:37 left on their own 30-yard line, so we'll keep you updated there as well. All right. Orlando Franklin, have you ever played, like, credit card roulette with a group of friends?
Oh, favorite games, favorite game. Okay. Love that game.
Is there one guy in your group who always seemed to never get his card pulled and never had to pay?
Yes, there was.
There's one guy, right? There's one guy, and he's the most annoying friend you have. Yeah, there's always one, and he's the most annoying friend you have. Well, right now...
It tends to be the cheapest person, too, in the group, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Not only does he get lucky, he's like just a cheapskate, right?
Right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are that friend. They are the luckiest bunch of SOBs in all of football right now. And they never have to pay the bill when the credit card roulette is played. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't really have a good answer for it. But they have won a handful of games this year they had no business winning, including this one today against the Denver Broncos, which they won on a blocked field goal attempt for Denver that would have won them the game. It was a 16-14 final. Denver played their tails off. You got to give them a ton of credit for the way their defense played. But let's hear from Andy Reid on practicing blocking field goals.
Yeah, so I get to see that every day, how we work that block and that last final shot there, and we did, but it's also something that we work on like crazy. So it's it normally doesn't work quite like that, but that one, we had a couple of different guys. George was in there too, I believe, so I haven't had a chance to look at the replay of it, but it looked like we had a couple different guys in there.
Yeah, you did, Andy. You had about 4 guys in the backfield, so I don't know what the hell the Broncos protection team was doing, but it wasn't blocking anybody.
Yeah, just
That's
a great
here nor there.
Yeah, just a great job. But the special teams of Kansas City in this situation, understanding what's at stake and identifying the weak link up front. This is a play. I sat there, talking to my 6.5-year-old and my 4-year-old son, and I said, the Broncos won, guys, and they were excited. And, because I'm thinking 99.9% here, Will Lutz is going to hit this thing through the upright. But KC did a heck of a job of identifying the weak link and lining up 3 guys right over Alex Forsythe and ejecting him out of the offensive line. He had no chance. He's the smallest offensive lineman I believe that the Broncos have, and he weighs under 300 pounds. So I don't even know why he's on field goal unit. When I was in the NFL 7 years ago, we wouldn't even put the centers on that unit because those are the guys that have to get the offensive line lined up and make sure that everybody's, dialed in. I know that Forsythe was in the backup role today because they got Wattenberg back, but KC just did an excellent job of exploiting a weakness for the Denver Broncos in a gotta-have-it situation.
Yeah, again, they absolutely just had multiple guys in the backfield to block that kick. And then here's more from Andy Reid on what you tell your team after a win like that. Andy's coming. I have a feeling. He'll get here eventually. You know what you tell him? We're the luckiest SOBs in the room. That's what you tell him. We didn't deserve to win this game, but we did, and we'll take it. I mean, look, do games like this, I get that they can, it's confidence building, right? You don't apologize for wins in the NFL, Orlando. You know that. I mean, no one's ever going to feel bad about it. However, but it's like, don't you feel like the Chiefs are going to get got by somebody eventually? Not even in the regular season. I'm talking about the postseason. Yeah. Because you can't do this week in and week out against good teams across the NFL playoffs. Like, you can do it against the Falcons. You can do it against, the Raiders. You can do it against the Broncos. You can't do it against the Bills, the Ravens, and somebody else 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, definitely you got to pick your poison in the National Football League. It is truly any given Sunday. But, yeah, in a win like today where your offense does not play good enough, defense for KC at times in that second half, when they had to have it, they forced the Broncos to get nothing going virtually offensively until that last drive where the Broncos were able to drive the field and put themselves in a good position to kick the field goal. But I promise you, everybody in that locker room understands that they've been, slipping through the cracks each and every week. And everybody understands on that roster, yeah, we are undefeated and this is what it says. But at the end of the day, we have to get better because this is not going to cut it in the month of December, and it's certainly not going to cut it in the postseason.
All right, Patrick Mahomes talked about the emotions of winning on a blocked field goal.
I think more than anything, I was just sick that last drive because I missed that touchdown throw. That would have gave us a chance to make it where they had to score a touchdown, put our defense in a bad situation. And I thought our defense stepped up in that second half and did a great job. And so I was just happy, man. I was happy that we ended with that block and Leo got through there. And it was just joy after that.
I know you never give up, but what is the mindset as that play's happening? I mean, you're probably pretty worried, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely are. It's just a low percentage for a block, but I mean, if anyone's going to do it, I mean, Tobe and his team's going to have a design rush or design way to get getting the hand on it. So it was obviously you're obviously worried because it's out of your control, but at the same time, I've trusted my teammates. They're going to go out there and make a play.
So the luckiest guy in the NFL.
Yeah, you got
luckiest guy in the NFL.
That is a very lucky block. Absolutely. You never really see it. Like I said earlier, right? You know, I'm telling my kids the Broncos are getting ready to beat the Chiefs, right? But I will tell you this, Patrick Mahomes, even though it doesn't look like Patrick Mahomes of a couple years ago, there were a couple plays in this game where I had to sit there and rewind. How in the world did he get out of that sack? How in the world did he, not only get out of that sack, he's converting a 3rd and 13 or a situation like that, right? So, I thought the Broncos played well enough to win this football game, but ultimately Patrick Mahomes was the difference maker. 4th down efficiency. They were 2 of 2, and he was spectacular in the second half on some of those huge 3rd and long situations where he gives his team a fighting chance with the way he's able to extend the play, be slippery in the pocket, not get sacked, and continue to keep his eyes down the field to find the open guy.
Yeah, again, I mean, I just don't have words at this point in time. It's frustrating for me. Like, again, I say it repeatedly. There's something about this Chiefs dynasty that just irritates me. I don't know why. I don't have a vested stake into it. I'm a Giants fan. Grew up a Giants fan. They're terrible. I'm okay with it. I enjoy watching the Jets squirm because why not? Regardless of all that, I enjoyed the Patriots dynasty. I had no problem with it. This one annoys me.
Yeah.
I think actively want this team to lose.
Yeah, for me as well. I spent 7 years in the AFC West, right, between the Broncos and the Chargers. Never liked the Chiefs. I had a lot more success against the Chiefs and the Broncos and all these other teams that are having now. I think in 4 years for the Broncos, I lost to the Chiefs once. But I think for me, it's the continued success while watching other teams fail. Watching other teams go in with not the best game plan. A couple Super Bowls ago when Cincinnati plays against KC, Patrick Mahomes has a high ankle sprain on his right ankle, right? If I am that Cincinnati defensive coordinator, I'm blitzing him from his right all day. I want him to roll to the left every single time. So I'm overloading that blitz because I don't have the confidence as he's going to be able to set his hips, flip his hips, and now throw into the ball with a right leg ankle sprain. So I think a lot of it for me, the frustration when I look at that dynasty and what they've built out there in Kansas City, I've been frustrated with how teams have chose to try to play them in big time moments and ultimately not having success, where KC's been able to beat this team that's like the big bad wolf, right? Everybody's scared of them in the National Football League, even on a down year.